Welcome, everybody, and thank you for investing your time into our topic today. So, today I would like to discuss Microsoft's vision for project and work management. So, Microsoft first got into the project management space back in 1984. So, Microsoft has been investing and innovating in the space for nearly 40 years now. And they have a really exciting and modern vision for where they are taking project and work management next. I would also like to discuss OnePlan, and we are a Microsoft preferred partner in the project portfolio management space, and how we can help organizations get the most out of your Microsoft investments, and how our solution built on the Microsoft platform provides a unified solution to your enterprise work management needs. So, Microsoft's mission statement is to empower every person and every organization to achieve more. And to drill down specifically to their project and work management vision, it is teams work the way they want, enterprises get the results they need. So, what does this mean really? And on the surface, the statement may seem a bit vague, but there is real meaning behind this vision. So, Microsoft invests a lot into their products, and these are the top challenges that they have identified in managing work. And these are based on customer feedback, analysts and market research, product usage, and their own expertise and experience. The first problem being that it's really, really difficult to get the entire picture in an enterprise work management perspective. There's work happening everywhere, different groups doing different things. At the same time, from an enterprise perspective, it would be nice to know what everyone's working on. Do I have enough resources? Do Are we invested in the right things to get the most out of the investments that we're putting in for the business outcomes that we're looking for? Another issue, another challenge is around teams choosing their own tools to work the way they want. Um, every team has a different goal or different set of goals. They have different capabilities, different maturity levels, different things that they're looking for in tools to help them execute on the work that they want to do. And it's really hard, or it's really impossible to have one tool that works for every team. And that's why every team sort of looks for different tools. Also, in terms of expectations for the UI these days, it's a lot different than how it used to be back in the day, right? The modern UI interface, it's a lot more intuitive. It's a lot easier to get started with, easier to understand and pick up without so much formal training. And that's sort of the expectation for all sorts of tools, including for project and work management. And that's just sort of the sign of the times, right? I mean, as an example, I remember playing video games when I was growing up as a kid. You'd open a video game package or box, and there were instructions inside, and you would open the manual and read the instructions to understand what buttons to push to do what, and then you would start playing the game because that's how you know how you can control your character and progress through the game. But if you play games these days, you don't. There's no manual. There's no manual that comes with the game. You just start playing it, and then there's along as you go. There's tutorials. There's wizards. There are different things that sort of guide you along and teaches you how to play the game. But there's no training or no reading that you have to do in advance before you're playing. It's a lot more intuitive. You just pick up as you go, right? And that's sort of the same experience that folks are looking for in a tool when they use for work as well. Another challenge is around business processes, cross functions, and systems. Right? There's there folks don't want a siloed system that doesn't talk to anything else. Right? It's a solution that does its own function and doesn't talk to any other solution or any other system is sort of limited in what it can provide you in terms of capabilities, in terms of value that it can provide. A lot of times that means you have to put in data twice or multiple times, same data in different places. You have to copy things from here to there, and there's also always human mistakes that could happen. So there's really a need for systems to be connected and integrated so that you can talk to each other and get value from the other systems. And the last one here is around security and compliance. Security, of course, is a big issue in any enterprise setting. Any sort of security breach can cost you millions, if not billions, worth of damage that you have to to augment, right? And there's also compliance requirements depending on what sort of industry you're in or what kind of business you're running. Especially in the regulated industries, right? There's a lot of compliance requirements that your systems have to meet, that your folks have to meet in order to do business in that space. So having a solution that has that security and that compliance built in and provides it for you so that you can focus on your business and not so much on the security and compliance piece, I think that that's also a hard requirement for a lot of enterprise customers. So really the ideal solution here would be something that's flexible enough to use on various types of work, spanning from simple to complex, but also with a modern intuitive UI, and of course all connected to provide visibility in the big picture, as well as at the same time provide enterprise capabilities around systems integrations and security and compliance, right? So now the work management vision that teams work the way they want while enterprises get the results they need makes a lot more sense. So let's get into the Microsoft solution. So a project management tool is no longer just a tool that helps you manage a project schedule. We're in a much more collaborative environment now. So the expectations have expanded to include many other parts of managing a project. Of course, you have to have a solution that can help you manage your tasks. But at the same time, different types of methodologies, whether it's agile or whether it's hype or waterfall or some hybrid version of each, right? Or a mix of each, or your own sort of methodology that you created. A tool that's flexible or a platform that's flexible to provide different ways you can manage your work is really required or needed in a lot of enterprise organizations. And of course, reporting, dashboarding, and reporting requirements. They've always been there. You need these reports to share status on your projects and your work, as well as make good decisions based on the information that you can get from these dashboards and reports. Workflows, right? Approvals and notifications. Those are all things that needs to happen when you're managing projects and work. So that's also a requirement. Documents, document management, project artifacts. Those are all things that you have to manage as you're executing a project, and that should be something that the system can handle and provide some capabilities around. And of course, financials, project accounting, some high level information around costs and budgets that you can track for projects and programs and portfolios. That would be ideal in helping you manage the costs involved around your projects. And of course, communication and collaboration is very crucial and important, right? You have to be able to communicate and collaborate with your project team members as well as your external stakeholders and other project stakeholders. So that's where the relationships comes in as well. And then of course your data and your security, having your data being secure in a secure environment, where only the folks that have access can get access to the data, and of course different apps and different permissions that you can manage and control, so that you can provide different levels of access to the data as you see fit. Now, so the solution here is to provide all of those requirements in one connected platform, all on the Microsoft Trusted Cloud. So the security and compliance is built in because it's all on the Microsoft Trusted Cloud. But something that provides you purpose and alignment, meaning there's strategic goals that are set at the corporate level. There's different goals that can be set at either department levels or project levels. At the same time, having alignment from your execution of your projects and your work and your tasks to those specific goals so that you can see how your investments and how your work is aligned to the things that are important for your organization. Of course, managing the planning and execution of your projects is key because we're talking about project portfolio management. And of course, providing visibility across all projects, right? So all projects across the entire enterprise, regardless of the different types of work that you may be managing as well. So not even just project work, but also operational work, or other work that's not so, I guess, categorized as projects, but it's all really necessary for you to better understand your resources, your resource capacity, and your resource constraints. And of course, plan and communicate and collaborate in all in one place makes it easy to really get access to the folks that you need to get access to. It's very difficult if you can't find the person that you need to speak to or that you need to get in touch with, because they're using different tools or different systems, or they're just not connected, just not available. So having a tool that can help you with that is also very beneficial. And automating repetitious processes and flows. One of the main benefits of tools and of systems is really the automation piece, right? If the system and the tool can help you automate those things that you have to do on a regular basis, that has some really basic logic built into it, that would really save you some time and some headache, and allow you to focus more on the things where you add value. And of course, tailoring, configuring, or you're building based on needs. There's always need for customization. Any COTS product can provide at most 80-90% of all of the requirements that you're looking for. There's always some configuration needed to get it to 100%, and having a solution that can help you do that more easily as opposed to building custom code, I think would also be very, very superficial. I mean, very, very beneficial. And of course, driving further productivity with familiar applications. That's all about allowing you to use the tool that you're currently using, right? So if you're using Outlook for email, if you're using SharePoint for document management, or if you're using Teams for communication and collaboration and chatting and meetings and calls, if you're using Word or Excel for your office documentation um, and spreadsheets, let's keep using that, but have a solution that integrates all of that into a common place, but also that adds synergy, so that when you are using those other tools, it can talk to your other tools as well, so that you don't necessarily have to jump back and forth between different tool sets. You can sort of all do what you need to do without leaving your flow of work. And of course, there are some additional more advanced capabilities, PPM and SPM capabilities that OnePlan can bring to the table, around prioritizing and managing your portfolios and resources, and a lot of other things as well, which we'll get into later on today. But again, OnePlan is also built on the Microsoft Cloud, and Microsoft and OnePlan together can provide a solution that really addresses your modern project management needs. So, getting into a little bit deeper into exactly what the different capabilities and features are, from a Microsoft perspective, there's objectives and key results that are managed by Viva Goals. This is where you can set your strategic objectives at the top layer, or you can set your team objectives, team goals, and objectives and key results for your projects and for your initiatives. That way you can track exactly, how are we investing in the things that we should be investing in? Are we investing in things that really align to the goals that we've set for ourselves? Or are we investing in things that, maybe they're executing well, but they're not really aligning or really having any input into anything that really matters for us? So, I mean, I think every organization has resource constraints. Every organization has budget constraints. So, understanding what's important for you and how the different things that cost you money align to those things that are important to you, I think that is something that's very, very useful to have. Um, Also, project requests. So, in terms of demand management, in terms of taking on requests for projects, requests for work, requests for new initiatives, having a central place where you can collect all of those and evaluate all of those, and maybe even stack rank all of those, would also be beneficial. And then, of course, having a capabilities to manage projects and tasks and programs as well, right? So tasks being a task, and projects being, I guess, a collection of tasks, and then programs being a collection of projects. But having that hierarchy so that you can, um, I guess, organize all the different work that's happening across the enterprise into a central place, and having a tool that's flexible enough where you can, if you want to do more lightweight project management, you can do so. But if you want to do something more structured and something more rigorous, you can do that as well. Risk management, issues management, project changes, status reports, project governance and governance workflows, and KPIs for reports and metrics. Those are all things that come out of the box with the Microsoft PPM solution set. And on top of that, you can add reports and dashboards leveraging Power BI. Of course, every organization needs reports, dashboards. Executives loves reports and dashboards. You really do need reporting and dashboarding to really understand what's happening across the enterprise, right? So having that visibility of all the different projects and portfolios and resources across the enterprise, so you can make better decisions on what to do in the future or how you're progressing. If you need to make a pivot on based on the things that you're seeing in the reports, this will give you that access. And then leveraging Microsoft Teams for the communication and collaboration perspective. There's a can't remember the exact number, but there's a lot of users on Microsoft Teams, especially in the enterprise organizations. Everyone's leveraging Teams to communicate and collaborate with their project teams, along with their external stakeholders as well. So let's keep continuing to leverage that Microsoft Teams to do that, but just integrate projects and tasks and programs and objectives and key results all into that one single interface. And on top of that, of course, Microsoft heavily investing in artificial intelligence. So Copilot, which was just released recently, gives you some of the AI capabilities that you can really take advantage of, leverage in Power BI and Teams and Power Platform and Project as well in the near future, so that you can really gain some additional insights, gain some automation with Copilot. So where OnePlan comes into play here is some of the other capabilities that OnePlan can bring. Um, Ideation, so more than just project requests, but ways to collect different ideas and votes and popularity and evaluation of those ideas that you can eventually promote into a project or some piece of work that you want to manage. That's a capability that we provide. Also, more advanced portfolio management. So not just a I guess um, a collection of programs or a collection of projects, but a way to really manage portfolios from a road mapping perspective, as well as from a financials and resource capacity and prioritization of those portfolios, so that again it helps you manage the limited resources that you do have. What do we focus that on? And there's many different ways to prioritize your projects and portfolios, and OnePlan provides those capabilities. Also, my work for your team members. So if you're a team member and you really just need to have access to a simple screen where you can see all the different things that you're assigned to that you should be working on in one central place. There's that capability. There's also time sheeting capability as well. So if you need to keep track or submit invoices or do billing, and you need to really understand exactly how much folks are working on what tasks, timesheets are available for that. And also there's integrations. So we do have a One Connect platform integration where you can actually integrate different execution tools into OnePlan as well. So things like Microsoft Planner or Project Desktop or Project for the Web or even Azure DevOps, you can integrate it into OnePlan so that you can add the additional PPM and strategic portfolio management capabilities on top of the execution tool that you're currently using. So if you recall earlier when we're talking about the Microsoft vision for work management, teams getting the tools that they want and enterprises getting the results they need. This is sort of an extension of that because this allows your teams to keep using the tools that you want. At the same time, it provides the additional enterprise capabilities that they need for additional visibility or additional portfolio management and resource management. So this is a screen of the OnePlan capabilities, rules, and process flows. These are all the different capabilities, different modules that OnePlan provides. Um, Goals under strategy. So this pertains to your OKRs and integration to Viva goals as well. We also have capabilities around enterprise architecture. I mentioned project requests and ideation as well. So that's in there. Portfolio planning, what if scenario modeling, and financial investments. Those are all important things that you can do at the portfolio level as well as at the project level. And different work plans, right? Whether it's agile, traditional waterfall, we can manage those and the integrations to the different tools around that as well. Capacity planning for resource management and project resourcing with heat maps. You can quickly see who's over allocated or who has capacity that you can reassign. Team member functionality for time tracking and in my work, and many different sets of visualizations around dashboards and roadmaps and different links and integrations across different key projects and portfolios and objectives and key results and capabilities and applications. You can sort of see where how everything is connected within the solution set, leveraging OnePlan. And of course, we have our own AI module as well called Sophia GPT. It's based on it's built on the Azure OpenAI framework. So you can actually leverage OnePlan and AI to sort of do the same sort of augmentation and same sort of insights and analysis that you can expect from Copilot. So for us, it's do the right work and do the work right. We're trying to manage both, where the tool helps you select the right pieces of work that you should be focused on, as well as capabilities to help you execute on that work in the best optimal way. And we are a Microsoft partner, so we have our tool is fused within the Microsoft solution sets. So depending on what you like to use, what your preferences in terms of the base platform, right? Whether it's Power Apps or whether it's Teams or whether it's Azure DevOps or Dynamics 365 or SharePoint or even Jira if you're a Jira shop, we have one plan integrations into all of those. Not just an integration, but an actual fused experience where you can actually leverage one plan in any of those environments and still get access to the capabilities and the features that one plan provides. So with that, I am going to do a quick demo of the Microsoft project solution as well as one plan. So I'm going to do a real high level demo of the Microsoft PPM solution. This is the homepage called Project Home, and this is sort of the landing page for Microsoft Project. And you get here through Office 365 through the app launcher. You can see there is a project tile. If you click on that project tile, that'll take you to where we have here, which is the project homepage. Um, when I click, let's say I wanted to create a new project, I simply come in here, say new project, and you can see that there's different templates that are available: simple project management, marketing campaign, software development. So quick ways to get you started with templates. There's also a import project capability if you have an old Microsoft project file, an MPP file that you want to import into this new service. This allows you to do that, and then of course you can of course create a blank project as well. Now, for sake of time, I'm going to click on a project that we already have created, and the one I'm going to pick is vendor onboarding. So when I click this, you'll see that this is the UI for project for the web, and you can see it's a much more modern UI than you've seen with Project Desktop. At the same time, it has all of the main project management and scheduling capabilities built into the solution. So of course, you have your task list, you can have your subtasks and summary tasks and all of those. You can of course have your durations and start and finish dates and resource assignments, so you can track who's working on what. You can have your percent complete for those tasks and any sort of dependencies, right? Task relationships and dependencies are supported. Effort in terms of hours is supported. Other things here as well, right? So effort completed, goals, labels, priority, outline number, all of those are there as well. And then if you have a need to add a new field that's not already on this list, you can just simply come here and create one. So it's very easy to use, very easy to configure and customize for your liking as well. Now, this is one way to manage your schedules. This is the grid view. This is sort of the tabular view that a lot of folks like to manage their schedules in, and this does provide that. But there's other ways to manage work here too. So you can go to a board view where you can control, you can manage your schedules more in a board view, right? So it's a task board. This is more Kanban or Agile style, where you can actually have cards and move those around to different buckets or different columns here. So this is a group by bucket view, but you can see there's also, you can group by assignment, you can group by progress or finish state or labels or priority or sprint or goals as well. So if I do progress, and you can see this is more of the Kanban style, right? So very easy to flip back and forth between grid and board to manage the work that you want to manage in the way that you want to manage it. And then if you're more traditional, want to see a Gantt chart, that's here as well. Let me zoom out a bit so you can see the Gantt chart for the same project. And you don't, you can always flip back and forth between the things, between the different views here. If you're going filters, you can show critical paths. It's very easy to identify what's on my critical path and what is not, right? Some built-in charts in terms of tasks and status, and buckets, tasks and status and buckets and effort per person. So different built-in charts that you can leverage. But there are some additional, more advanced charting and dashboarding that's available in Power BI, which I'll show you as well. And then the People tab will give you a very quick, easy way to manage your resources for this project. So you can see all the different resources that are part of this project team. You can see how many tasks each person has assigned to them, whether they're incomplete or how many are late. You can see that status up there. And then if you find that there's, looks like Lynn has 11, right? She's got a lot of tasks, although most of it is completed. If they were still ongoing, you could easily just take some of these and move it to someone else who doesn't have as many tasks. It's a very easy way to manage your resources and workload through this interface. And then goals, so you can set up project goals within this tool, and then you can also set tasks for those project goals. You can track exactly what are the things that we're working on this project that align to those goals for this project. So again, very easy to get started. Very I'd say intuitive to work with. If you can see there's other indicators here as well. This one is the task conversation, so you can have conversations directly about a task specifically within this tool. There's also notes. There's also attachments. If I click on this, you can see the little details for the task itself. You can see there is a checklist option here as well. There's that attachment. There's the conversations here. There's also task history as well. So even though it's very easy and lightweight, it still is a very robust in terms of capabilities and what it can provide. Now, that was from more of a project manager's perspective, right? If I'm a project manager, or if I'm someone just managing a single or a set of projects and I focus on that, this is sort of that UI or that experience that I would go towards. But if I'm more in a project management organization, or if I'm more in a way where I need to have a structured set of projects, I want to see what the status for all of those projects are, then there is a sort of a different interface for that as well. But it's still leveraging the same tool set. So for that, I go here, and this is what we call the PMO Accelerator. So a Microsoft solution set is using the same things, just exposes a few other capabilities that the other UI doesn't expose. So in this case, I can see I have a home page with a few graphics and visualizations to get you started on exactly where you are in terms of the status. But I can come here on the left menu to projects, and now I can see all of my projects. Now these are my active projects. There's different views available here as well. So I can go to all projects, closed, or so on and so forth, right? And within my active projects, I can see for each project, different status information about that project, right? Project type, stage, overall health, schedule health, issue health, and so on and so forth. So I can easily, at a very quick glance, see the status of my projects for my portfolio. Now, in this case, I can say vendor onboarding. That's the same project we were just looking at in Project for the Web. I can go ahead and open this, and then I can get more information about that specific project. So now we're seeing not just the project schedule, but additional information, right? Metadata and attributes about that project. Things like who's the owner, what's the project type, is it part of a program, what's the business unit and state and stage and priority. Now, all of this is very configurable as well. So this is not set in stone. You don't have to use these fields if they don't matter to you. You can add additional fields to this form if you need. If you want to change the options that are available for priority from critical, high, moderate, low to something else, you can very easily do that. This is all meant to be configured. You just simply go into basically the settings and make those changes. And then you can see there's different tabs across the top, right? So this is just a summary page, but you can also have something like a business case page, right? So if you're evaluating projects or evaluating initiatives and trying to figure out what are the things that we want to take on, a business case is something that's useful to have when you're making that evaluation, right? So you can have a business case, descriptions and value statements. You can also have prioritization section, right? Alignment and improving employee retentions or different goals that you may want to set up for your evaluation. And then you can use those as criteria for your evaluation. You can also have some high level financials information here, budget and forecast and actual costs and benefits and ROI. If I go to tasks, you can see this is the exact same project we were just looking at in that other UI, but it's just contained here within this UI. So again, the same project, full fidelity. You can do all the same things here: grid view, board view, timeline view, charts, all of those things, same things. You can do it directly here. But it also adds things like risk management, right, and issues management, and change management, and status reports. So all of those come into play here as well. So now you're talking about not just managing a project schedule, but really managing projects in an organized office structure. And I guess in addition to that, there's projects, there's also programs. So similar to what we just saw with projects, but program itself being an entity that you can manage. And you can have different attributes for that program itself, right? So let me select one, cloud infrastructure upgrade. If I hit edit, you can see there's a general tab or general page for that program. You can see program start date and due date and priority and business unit and all of those things. You can also have program financials, but you can also have projects. So where you can come in and see what are the different projects that are associated or that are contained as part of this program. So this program, Cloud Infrastructure Upgrade, has three different projects, including vendor onboarding, that are included as part of that. And then project requests. So this is where you can come in and submit ideas or submit requests for different types of projects. Again, this is also a different entity in itself. So you can have a request where you can have different sets of fields or sets of attributes that you collect at the request level, because you probably don't need as much detail at the request level as you would at the program level or the project level, right? So here, similar but not the same in terms of what you're capturing. There's obviously not a schedule here at all, but in terms of some high level details and business case for this request, how does it rate in terms of the prioritization and different goals, ROI value that you can definitely leverage for the evaluation process. Another thing that you can do with this is that you can tie this to Power Automate, so that if you take something like the request state, and let's say when you first create a project request, it starts off in the new state, but then eventually goes into review. And after review, if it gets approved, let's say you flip this to approved, and then that kicks off a workflow to copy this information in this project request and create a project under the projects list with the same information. That way, that part is automated. You don't have to go in and create a new project with the same data that you copy and paste. It's all just as part of the workflow gets created for you. So very, very cool. And then of course reports and dashboards I mentioned earlier. Oops, it is leveraging Power BI. So let me go ahead and sign in here. Now there is a Power BI content pack or a set of templates that comes with the solution. So all it's really doing is pointing to a data location where your project data lives. It's going to authenticate you to make sure that you have access to that data. And then you'll get these kind of reports, right? So this is a portfolio dashboard. So you can see high level dashboard information. You can see each line is a project. There's a link to open that project directly if you need to dive into it. You can see start, finish, and progress bars and task counts and how many are overdue and how many are late and on track and future and completed. So again, and it's all color coded. So you can see this kind of worries me. I see a lot of red. that tends to worry me, right? So I know that's something I need to focus on. But you can see, projects by progress, effort by project, projects by project manager, and there's different filters at the top here as well. Program name and state and project manager, so different ways to filter and drill down into different sections of the portfolio that you want to focus on. You can see there's many different tabs across the bottom, and all of these is included as part of this. You can see there's a request dashboard, there's program health and program financials, portfolio timeline, portfolio milestones. So many different visualizations that you can definitely take advantage of and leverage for your dashboarding needs. There's a risks dashboard, there's issues dashboard, changes in status, and resource dashboard is pretty useful for you to see exactly how your resource pool looks like in terms of capacity. Resource assignments, if you want to dive into exactly what someone is assigned to, what they're working on. You can see Alex is on the infrastructure upgrade project. These are the different tasks. Do start and finish dates and progress information, all of that, right? Project timeline, if you want to dive into a specific project, or my timeline, if I want to dive specifically into the work that I myself is assigned to as an individual. So many different layers of dashboards and reports that are available for you here. We don't have time to go into all of these, but you can see it's pretty comprehensive, and it covers the bulk of what you probably would need in terms of reporting and dashboarding. We also provide the source code for this. So if you want to take this and make some tweaks, make some changes, make it really into what works best for your organization, you don't have to start from scratch. You can just take what we have and then make those changes there. So that, in a nutshell, is what is out of the box with the Microsoft project solution in terms of project and work management, and where sort of OnePlan can add value on top of this is that you see the home and the project requests and the programs and projects and reports and all that, right? So where OnePlan can really come into play is around here. So you can see now there's additional capabilities, additional tabs that's available on the left. One is my work, so I'm logged in as Daniel, and these are all the different things that Daniel has assigned. So one single place where I can see all my work, right? I mentioned timesheets earlier, so that's there as well. Uh, let's see, program project analyzer. Let's take a look at analyzer. This is where you can do some portfolio, advanced portfolio management. So you can see these are all the different projects, the different status for each of the projects. You can also see there's different hierarchies that you can set here. So in this case, it's just programs and projects and requests. But if you wanted to add additional layers like portfolios or products or product lines in between all of this, you can do that as well. There's also resource management, so resource planning, that capability that OnePlan provides. And you can see that here. So you can manage resources at the enterprise level or also at the individual project level. In this case, I'm looking at enterprises I guess resources across the enterprise. You can see for each resource a heat map, right, of green, yellow, and red or orange in some cases. And the heat map represents over allocation, where they're actually assigned to work or committed to work beyond what their capacity for work is. And that capacity can vary depending on the resource, depending on the calendar that resource is using, in terms of how much work capacity they have. That could have dependencies on the holidays or vacations, in addition to different calendars for different geographies or whatnot. Right, you can really make it granular to fit the resource profile in terms of capacity. But the idea is that you can have a way where you can visualize very easily where or there's over allocation, so you can take action against that, right? Understanding that there's if your resources are over allocated, then most likely whatever projects they're working on will also probably run late, right? And so you can expand on any of the resources, and you can see exactly what projects that they're assigned to. You can see the different amount of work that they're either assigned or committed. You do have different ways of committing or scheduled or timesheet hours that represents different types of, whether it's resource planning or whether it's resource assigned to a specific schedule or actuals coming in from timesheets, different ways um, to compare and contrast the different types of resource uh, commitments that you're putting into the solution. There's different ways you can view this. So you can set up different dates. You can set up different groupings or filtering. You can set up different comparisons. You can compare committed versus scheduled, committed versus actuals, scheduled versus committed, vice versa, right? So you can very easily see how resources are over allocated, and then you can also take action um, using this to find alternative options for your resource over allocations. So as an example, let's say I want to do something for this project, employee job fair. Looks like it's a huge amount of work for Adam in the month of June. And then I say, find me the best resource for that. It will show me best match. These are the folks that have the same sort of resource role or skill that as Adam that shows availability. So I can very quickly find, who are the right people that I can replace Adam on this project, and then the system will find that for you. So again, yeah, very, very easy to do so. You can also do portfolio modeling, what if scenarios with resources and financials as well. So you can figure out exactly what's the optimal portfolio based on my resource constraints and my financial constraints and budgets too. And real quick on our Sophia, which is our artificial intelligence module, you'll see the Sophia logo everywhere within OnePlan. And depending on where you are in OnePlan, you can go ahead and click on it, and it will give you some ideas and ways you can leverage Sophia's, right? So in this case, we're looking at resources. So it's giving you some ideas around, I know, which resources in order are currently underutilized, which resources are currently overutilized, what are the potential risks to our capacity plan, and how can we mitigate them. So these are some of the, I guess, the starter questions just to help you understand exactly what are the capabilities of Sophia and AI within OnePlan. But really, you can ask any question that you want to hear, and then you will process that question and give you an answer based on its understanding of your data. It's something that's definitely very, very useful, and it's getting better all the time as the underlying AI model gets better. But yeah, it's something that's available as part of OnePlan. So that was a very high level overview of Microsoft Project as well as OnePlan. If you're interested, I can definitely do a deeper dive demo where you can go into more detail on some of the capabilities and features. And really, what's best is understanding what your requirements are, what your challenges are, and how we can demonstrate the solution meet those specific challenges, as opposed to just a generic general overview demo. So I hope this gives you enough information to show that there's possibilities and capabilities here that could really help you. But yeah, please do feel free to reach out afterwards. I'll send you my contact information to get a more custom demo for your specific requirements. So across the enterprise, these are basic, I guess, common use cases that we see across the enterprise where something like a Microsoft project or one plan can be leveraged to help you execute and manage the different types of work and projects that you are trying to manage, right? So obviously, the project management office is a common usage for our solution set, but things like innovation and transformation can definitely take advantage of some of our capabilities as well as IT departments and an app or product development, professional services, sales and marketing, and operations as well. These are all very common use cases. And there's been some other cases beyond this where there's been some creative ways to leverage the benefits of project and one plan together. So if you do have any questions or requirements around the different ways our tool can help you manage your business, please again feel free to reach out. So with that, we'll go into summary and next steps. So in summary, Microsoft does have an ambitious vision for work and project management, and I believe OnePlan can connect work across the enterprise from strategy to execution together with Microsoft. Ensures that organizations are working on the right things aligned to strategies and priorities, right? And visibility allows for rapid responses to changing conditions, keeps users working in their preferred tools and solutions appropriate for their role and maturity and type of work that they're executing on, and improves adoption by minimizing duplication of effort and unnecessary complexity. Very modern user experience, driving better participation and compliance and adoption as well. AI for advanced analysis and automation and streamlining of tasks, and integration of all the work and resources into a common hub that really gives you that enterprise portfolio visibility across everything. Um, Microsoft Ignite is coming up November 15th through 16th. It is going to be, I'm sorry, November 14th to 17th in Seattle. However, I believe the if you haven't registered already, registration is closed for the in-person event, but registration is still open for the online event. And I do highly recommend that you sign up for that if you haven't already. There's going to be several. You can see the five different sessions related to Microsoft Project and Planner that will be presented at Ignite. I would say please try to attend as many of these as you can, or catch the recording if you can't. There will be some major announcements made at Ignite around project that I think you will be very excited to hear. Just a quick blurb about OnePlan. We are, we again, like I said earlier, Microsoft project and portfolio management partner. We are very strong in this space. In fact, we have been either a winner or finalist for this space the last 5 consecutive years. But not only Microsoft, we're also recognized by market analysts like Gartner and Infotech, um, and Forrester and others as well. So we are a known commodity within this space. We are a proven leader in this space. So definitely something that we are very proud of. We do have webinars coming up pretty frequently. The next one is coming up on November 16th, Future Microsoft Project Portfolio Management for delivering value to your organization. If you go to this website, oneplan.ai/webinars, you'll see a lot of on-demand webinars as well based on our past webinars that you can get access to. So if you find one that you fancy, please do take a look. It will be very helpful. We do also offer free trials. So the site is here on the slide, oneplan.ai/solutions. You can sign up for a free trial. There's different templates that you can select. The one that I would suggest, if you're not sure which one you want to select, is the Adaptive Project Portfolio Management template. If you have any questions, again, please do reach out and we're happy to help you. So again, yeah, free trial. I mentioned we do also offer a roadmap workshop. So if you have a current solution and you want to better understand exactly how you can get to a desired solution in the future based on the Microsoft Cloud, please reach out. We'll definitely help you with that roadmap. We can also, as mentioned earlier, give you a personalized one-on-one demo so you can better see exactly how the solution fits for your specific challenges. And if you have any other questions, please do feel free to reach out to us. You can reach us at this email, contact@oneplan.ai. Website's listed here as well. So with all of that, I want to say thank you for again investing your time into this topic today, and also we would love your feedback as well. So please do give us feedback on the session, on the topic, and any we appreciate any sort of feedback that you provide. Will definitely help us do better on these in the future and do more if needed. So with all that, thank you so much.